So this is a 2017 Toyota Tacoma TRD Edition 4-wheel drive truck. I'm going to tell you, I've had a lot of fun driving this truck, mainly because the truck just feels really damn capable. It feels like you can take this thing anywhere. And I had that same feeling when I was in the Raptor. The difference between how I feel in this truck versus how I felt in the Raptor is I feel like I'm not going to be as concerned if I rub something on this truck on a rock or if I rub it on a tree. If some part of this truck makes contact with whatever I'm driving over, I don't feel like I've just done that to an $85,000 truck. You feel really confident in this truck when you're driving it in almost any condition, whether it be off or on road. The truck feels very, very planted to the ground, and you feel very safe and in control of your driving situation, which I think will translate very well over to people who want to take this truck out in off-road conditions, or if they use a truck and they go to that favorite fishing spot and they're just afraid if they're going to get out there or not. The truck is light enough, nimble enough, and capable enough that you really, again, feel confident no matter where you take it. A few things to note about the exterior appearance of this truck. It does have halogen headlights. They are projector style headlights, as well as fog lights. This is a TRD Edition truck, so it does come equipped with the Goodyear Wrangler All-Terrain Adventure Series tires. They're 265/70 R16s. This truck also comes equipped with Bilstein shocks, fully independent front suspension. This truck has a fully E-coated frame. Now, one thing to note, the Tacoma in the past used to have a fully boxed frame, but Toyota actually changed it to an open C-channel frame on their newer model trucks. And one of the reasons for that is they claim they want the added flexing capability when you go over off-road conditions. Now, Toyota has several vehicles that have fully boxed frames, but the Tacoma and the Tundra are two of the vehicles that have reverted back to open C-channel. And again, it is an E-coated frame. You know, one thing to note on this truck is that the steel on this frame is actually 1/8 of an inch thick. So many trucks have actually moved to a boxed frame, but it's 1/16 of an inch thick for their half-ton models. This truck is actually below a half-ton model when it comes to overall payload and towing capabilities, but the frame thickness of this truck is relatively thick for the size of truck it is. So that's a good thing to note, that you get a pretty solid frame when it comes to the Toyota Tacoma, and it uses relatively thick steel. The rear axle and rear suspension. Of course, this is a leaf sprung suspension, Bilstein shocks. This truck does come equipped with a slow open tailgate. Toyota kind of pioneered this. I know that most trucks have it now as an option. Toyota really brought this to life with the Tundra, making it standard on the Tundra pickups. Now, a big difference between the bed of this truck versus really any other truck besides maybe a Honda Ridgeline is that they use a plastic material for the bed. So the bed's a polymer as opposed to steel, which means it'll never rust, and people who have owned this truck and have used this bed will tell you how rock solid it is. I actually work with a fleet company that has a whole fleet of Ram, Ford, and GM trucks, and the owner drives a Tacoma, and he claims that the bed of his truck has withstood more than any of the other trucks have been able to. The only other vehicle that has a polymer bed kind of like this is going to be the Honda Ridgeline, which of course isn't going to have the capabilities or capacities of a pickup truck. So I really think that this is a great way to go, and I believe that having this type of material will probably surpass the life expectancy of a spray and bed liner, of a steel or aluminum bed. And I think this is what you're going to see as kind of the wave of the future when it comes to bed materials. They got some cool pockets here on the side which can lock, and it's just storage. But what I like about this is that it uses some space that traditionally you don't have use for in most pickup trucks, which is the space between the fender on the outside and the inside of the bed. You have to be sure to lock this because it's pretty lightweight, and if you're driving down the road and you didn't lock this, you'll probably lose this cover. This truck does have bed lights on it, tie-down straps, has a outlet on the back. It's great if you're going to be powering an electric grill or a speaker or, you know, whatever you might need back here, lighting. and another little storage compartment on the side. Again, trying to use all the space they can. It has a nice cutout here above the wheel wells, so you're able to actually secure a board there, so if you're going to be carrying mountain bikes or whatever you might need to carry. Plus it has additional tie-down hooks up front. Again, this truck does come equipped with the V6. It does have a rear view camera, no parking sensors, but one would argue that you really don't need parking sensors on a truck that has a backup camera because you can kind of see what's behind you. I like backup sensors, but in a truck this small with a backup camera, really not needed. These running steps look right at home on a truck like this. They are very functional, they work really well, and they actually offer you a level of protection if you're going to be going over some obstacles or driving over conditions that may normally damage those panels underneath. Now moving on to the interior of this truck, let's start with the back. The back seat in this crew cab model is pretty spacious. This back seat actually appears to have more room than most extended cab domestic trucks, even in the half-ton line. But again, this is a four-door crew cab version of the Tacoma, and it really has a lot of room. I'd say the space between the front of the cushion to the back of the seat is about 8 inches, which is more than enough for most people. In a seated position, I feel comfortable, even though my knees do slightly touch the back of the seat when the seat's in the normal seated position for the front driver. And of course, here's the bag with all the mounts for the rail system that Toyota has on this truck. Tie things down like a quad or motorcycles or whatever you might put in the back. This truck does not appear to have rear air conditioning vents, though it does have some ventilation down here. They point downwards, so they're not pointing upwards at you. I do wish it did have a couple AC vents back here. Now moving into the front of the truck. Truck does have power windows, door locks, power mirrors. It has a light, high mount light for the bed, AC jack and everything in the back, plus power rear window. It's a sliding rear window, so it slides side to side. Has a really nice color scheme inside. Again, cloth interior. This is not the premium package of this truck. This is going to be more of a package for enthusiasts, people who might use the truck off-road or may want to use it as a weekend truck to take out to the beach, take out on sand, on dirt, mud, rocks, things like that. This truck is not equipped with remote start, but it does have push button start. So it has your standard key fob. Keep it in your pocket, don't have to take your keys out. You can lock and unlock the doors as well as start the vehicle without the keys in your hand. Again, here's that capacitive touchscreen display I was talking to you about for the navigation. One of the things that a lot of people really appreciate about Toyota technology is that it works and it's simple. You don't have screen upon screen upon screen to get through to get to the choices you want. It doesn't have a lot of flash. It doesn't have a lot of the moving graphics that you might see on some of the newer navigation systems and vehicles. But what it sacrifices in cosmetics, it makes up for in function and convenience. And it's just really nice to have a navigation system on a vehicle that just doesn't require a lot of learning. It is just a really solid system that's always been reliable, and Toyota's really been known for that. If you look down here at your four-wheel drive controls, two-wheel drive, as well as 4 low, 4 high, AC controls, temper controls, as well as the different modes. As you can tell, this is not an automatic AC system, so you have to set it the way you want it. Again, this isn't the most premium version of this truck. This is going to be more of your enthusiast version. This is that wireless charging button I was telling you about. I really didn't know that that was the icon for wireless charging. Maybe I should have. But you throw your phone in this pocket down here, and a little light comes on right here indicating that the phone's charging, if your phone's capable of wireless charging. Electronically controlled transmission. This is kind of their way of switching between street and sport mode. So this button has pretty much existed on every Toyota and Lexus vehicle going back over a decade. As well as your auxiliary jack and your USB jack, and of course 12-volt outlet. Has one cup holder here, 2 cup holders right here, and then the doors are each equipped to hold 2 cups. So you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cup holders in the front and 2 cup holders in the rear. Here's your overhead console. Some of the buttons I was telling you about earlier. You have your crawl mode, which toggles through the various pre-selected modes for crawling assist, as well as your multi-terrain select mode. And here's your knob to control the different types of terrains you might be driving over. Locking rear differential, as well as your traction control. Your traction control also has multiple selections for going over different types of terrain. And here's the GoPro mount I was telling you about. As you can see, it's already designed to fit into this specific truck. It's pretty cool that the truck comes with a mount for putting a GoPro up. Now let's take a look at the window sticker on this specific truck. This truck has a cost of $38,251. If you are interested in buying this truck, AutoNation has worked with me to give you a deal where you get $1,000 off of that price. So it's $37,251 for Big Truck Big RV listeners, which in Toyota's case is a pretty good deal because Toyota generally doesn't offer the types of discounts or incentives or rebates that you might see with domestic brands. They sell their truck much closer to what they realistically believe the truck is valued at, so they don't need to offer $5,000 or $6,000 incentives on their truck. So if you want to get this truck or you're interested in it, $37,251 is what they're asking for it. Again, this truck does have the 3.5 liter Atkinson Cycle V6 engine, 278 horsepower, 265 pound-feet of torque, 6-speed automatic transmission. It has 4-wheel on demand, locking rear differential with multi-terrain select, has a crawl mode, hill start assist also. Some of the additional options in this particular truck is a tow package, cargo bed light, mud flaps, has premium carpet, has a Predator tube setup, which is essentially the steps on the side, and it has all of the vehicle paint protection as well as lusterizing seal, sealant cleaner, fabric guard, rental car assistance, paint protection film, all that stuff. And the vehicle fueling is simply if you run out of fuel, they'll come and put 4 gallons of fuel in the truck for you. LED daytime running lights, a 5-foot composite bed with 120 volt power outlet, and it has the deck railing system with the tie downs. And these are all standard features for this particular truck, so that's really nice. The selected options were the stuff down here. Has a nice size center console. Again, the 2 cup holders in the back. Has a pretty good size glove box. I mean, a lot of trucks are skimping out on that. I don't really know why, but this has a really good size pocket on this side. Plus it has 2 pockets, one for your manual and another one for other miscellaneous stuff. So this truck does not come equipped with power seats. It has manual seats, manual forward back control, as well as manual lumbar control. Lumbar control, tilting the seat forward or back, and then of course sliding your seat forward or back right here. Now popping the hood on this, I do wish it had hydraulic support or hydraulic lift assist on the hood, but it doesn't. So you do have to hold it up, put the brace here. Again, it is a 3.5 liter V6. So that wraps up my review of the 2017 Toyota Tacoma. Again, I really like this truck. I think it's a impressive package, especially for a more compact truck. The truck has a lot of really nice features to it. At the same time, it's not a fully equipped Tacoma, so it doesn't have leather. It doesn't have a lot of the power options that you might get. However, the truck feels extraordinarily capable. And a good way of describing it, it feels safe. It feels like a very safe truck to use on or off-road and to essentially go anywhere you want to go. I like the truck. It, to me, is a good compromise if you don't want to spend the money on something like a Raptor, but at the same time, you want a truck that you feel very capable of going just about anywhere in. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my review of this truck. If you do, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Thanks, everyone.